So I crashed the beta. So yeah, I crashed on the beta. As you can see, it wasn't super bad. It could have been a lot worse. I was able to kind of smartly get myself out of there, save myself. I only got some bad bruises on my hands, some sprained wrist, and some bruising on my stomach. But the bike got a little bit beat up. It was quite crooked out there while riding. We were able to do the bracing and straightening like how we do and how we've shown you before in the past. But this video is going to be how to straighten your front end and also how to fix some cosmetic things when you crash, kind of like that on some hard rock stuff. The handle, the handguard, and some other master cylinder stuff. I'm gonna just show you little cosmetic tips, nothing crazy. I'm not gonna replace really any parts. I'm gonna trim the fuel line and kind of basically budget man fix your bike after a crash. So as you can see, there's some scuff marks on the master cylinder, on the handguard, the brake hose, and then of course the bars and front end are bent, and then some plastic cosmetic damage on the front end. Probably a couple other little things that I'm gonna notice as we're working on this thing, but beyond that, I'm not gonna do too much more. I'm gonna try to keep it kind of minimal and get the bike working fine operationally and look a little bit better cosmetically, and I'm gonna call that good. Okay, so right away, we can tell here, we got handlebars pointed down, tire pointing one way, fender pointing the other, all sorts of cattywampus on the front end. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that first. And that's the most common issue that you're gonna have after a crash. Okay, so first things first, you wanna loosen your front end. I got a 10 here, and then it's a 24. I would use a socket on this beta, because I've noticed I was able to get it loose just with the open end, but a kind of big wrench like this doesn't really like to fit around this. So when I tighten it up, I will go grab a socket. But the first thing you wanna do is, if you can't get this loose, this is similar to a KTM. If you can't get this nut on this right side loose here, you'll wanna loosen these two 10s. But I was able to get it loose, so then go ahead and get our 10s here. With these loose, you shouldn't really need to take the axle out or mess with that in any way. Very rarely would you have messed anything. Now, sometimes when you crash, you can bend your front caliper. I've already checked to make sure my front caliper is spinning correctly, but if you feel like a loss of front brake after you crash or it's intermittent, then your caliper is probably bent and you'll have to replace that or bend it back with a wrench. We have some shorts on our channel about that, but front wheel's loose. Now we're gonna go mess with the front end up here. So first thing we're gonna do is loosen the top of this stuff right here. Now, we're gonna see kind of how that aligns and how that kind of frees things up. I can definitely feel binding when it was all tight, of like, you can tell it's not straight, it's not feeling exactly right. So we're gonna get that stuff loose, and that will be another 10T handle, and if we need to, we'll have to loosen this back stem stuff, but we'll see how it feels. Okay, so if you couldn't tell, we loosened the top, but it's still pretty crooked. So, and this is pretty common that you're gonna have to just do all 4 bolts here. So front wheel's totally loose, all pinch bolts are loose, but on top of doing the wheel and the top bolts, gonna have to do the bottom bolts for the fork as well. Now, it's good just to do this anyways, but I was trying to avoid it, just to be lazy, you know? But we'll retorque it and all that stuff, and I'll have to watch and be careful about where this line is before I loosen everything up, because when I loosen it up, it'll for sure want to move around and be loose. So there we go. Now, yeah, look at all that. All of it's loose. It's all shaking around, jiggling, jiggling, jiggling. So now, and it just moved down a bunch. So now I'm going to move the forks back up into position and then retighten them, because the whole front end's loose right now. This is fine. The stem shouldn't need to be loosened. It's not really binding anything up as far as angle wise. So, all right, now while you won't be able to see my head, you can see what I'm doing up here, which is I'm finding a good spot where my calipers are straight, and then I can check them and then go over here. Check them, boom, we're good. That was like 0.02 off, so I'm fine with that. Now we are going to torque these forks, of course, but we're going to snug them up with the T-handle. And these forks have the same torque spec as KTM forks. And KTM forks, we have found that we like to kind of go over the spec a little bit, just a little bit. Because it's 17 Newton meters, which is like 15 or so foot-pounds, and then 12 Newton meters on the bottom, which is like 10 foot-pounds, or around that. Maybe a little bit less than that. So I just want to make sure that I'm never running the risk of anything coming loose on my front end while I'm out in the middle of a race or riding. Okay, now we're going to tighten up our front wheel. Spins pretty good right now, and it looks pretty straight. Obviously, the front fender got a little bit tweaked when I did crash. I'll show you how to clean up some of this stuff in a second. But on the front wheel, we have a tightening procedure that helps make sure that they, one, stay tight, and then two, are tightened correctly and don't bind anything up. So first thing we'll do is we'll get our, it's either going to be a nut or it's a kind of a big bolt like this one. Hand tight. And if you can't do it by hand basically to the end, you should fix your threads either on your axle or on the nut or bolt on itself. So then I switched this out for a socket because the wrench is too fat to fit onto it. So we got a socket on here, and even still, it's not very good at grabbing it. I want to get this tight, you know. I'm gonna make sure this is, and also straight on there. Okay, snug, you know. Then from there, we tighten these ones on this right side. You know, look when you're looking at the wheel, right side first. So tight, tight, good, good. So those are snug. Now from here, a couple different techniques, but this one is spin and then grab the front brake, slam side to side. You could even do the pull down, but all that is to basically make sure that this left side, when you're looking at the bike, this left side right here is free floating. So this side without the brake disc is floating and can move freely. And that's to make sure it settles into its home. And you snug these up. And you don't gotta go crazy on these. These were too tight before. And so we don't wanna get them crazy tight, but snug enough that you're like, okay, yeah, I can get that off with the wrench and make sure that, yes, we got these. And you don't ever really need to go back to this one if you got it snug the first time. Now, sometimes when you're trying to tighten this, it won't get tight and it'll just spin, especially on the KTMs. Now, to fix that, tighten this left side, tighten this bolt or nut here, make sure it gets snug, loosen this left pinch bolt, and then go through the process that I just did. Okay, now we're gonna fix some of these scuffs right here. And to do that, simple razor blade. And you don't wanna do it like at an angle, just like this. And not hard, but lightly. I'm avoiding going on the plastic side very much. And it's just, if there's something I can pick with my hand, I do. Okay, yep. And then just that gets some of the kind of tall plastic off of, breaks it off from being all standing proud and tall and kind of scratch your hands. So now, yep, smooth, or smoother, I guess. Obviously the graphics are a little bit beaten up, and then right here is a little bit on the head. Yep, and just kind of smooth it out so it's not super obvious. It'll, you know, scratch it up a little bit in a different way, but it's not like protruding plastic in that way. That's a fun little tip. And now we're gonna work up here on our master cylinder and then hand guard, and then we're gonna make sure that our bars are for sure not bent. We're gonna double check that. Okay, so first step on this part, kind of similar to what we just did up there, but there's some kind of pokey metal here, and we're gonna just And smooth that out. All the burrs and points of metal that are kind of jagged. Use a flat end here. Yep. We're going to show you the cool little hack to fix these and make them look kind of new. I think my paint pen was a little bit dried out. I haven't used it in a long time. So I went back to good old faithful Sharpie. So we're coloring it in here. And obviously this will wash off after like a couple washes, but it's just kind of to make it look pretty for right now. If I was selling this bike, then this was something I would do, but just kidding, I wouldn't do that. Maybe. All right, so the bars feel pretty good. I think they're in the right spot, but something that we had to do, if you noticed, if you look right here after I crashed, this handguard was bent down. So we kind of had to fix that on the trail with what we had. So I'm going to readjust this handguard and this lever to make sure that they're in the right spot right now, and then I'm gonna go test ride this thing. Okay, got the 8, the 10, and the grip edge Allen set here. And first thing I'm gonna do, find the right size. Loosen that up just a little bit, just to make sure it can spin a little bit freely. Then we'll loosen our 8s here. Yeah. A little bit tight because I imagine got a little bit jacked up on the trails. Kind of feels like it did. Oh yeah. I think it's time for a test ride. Not quite right. Okay, so all that did need to be done, but also it still wasn't exactly right. This left side is definitely lower when I'm riding, I can tell. And so that's either A, bent bars, which it could be bent bars, which I don't have an extra set of bars up here. So that kind of leaves me high and dry for right now. Or it could be these mounts, which I don't have an extra set of either, but I can at least pinpoint that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off each of these mounts one by one, and I have a surface plate that I can see if they're bent or crooked in a drastic way. So we're gonna test that right now. All right, we figured it out. It was the rubber part of the mount here on this left side where it crashed. It got bound up in there, and that's something that even on the KTMs, there's a rubber cone that sometimes you have to replace the rubber in the cone part. These, I was able to just take it off and then put some Loctite on it and then put it back on, and it seemed fine. And we also fixed the fuel hose here because it was all cut up from kind of going upside down sideways. And yeah, we're ready to ride again. So we're gonna ride this thing in the single track mountains, and we're gonna just rip around and enjoy this Beta 480. Pretty cool. We have another video on this bike. If you haven't seen it already, make sure to go check that out. If you have any questions, tech questions or something, just email us. Go to our website, dirtbiketv1.com. And if you ask us questions, we can feature those questions in our show, our podcast, That Moto Show. So we'll see you guys out in the track or trail soon.